What's going on? This your boy, Chris Simmons, coming to you with a special edition, special podcast episode. We got a new segment for y'all today called Toxic Tuesdays. And as always, I'm with my favorite co-host, Miss Tiffany Chanel. What's going on with you, girl? How you doing?
Hey, I am doing great. How's everybody? Hello, hello.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. So we got something new for y'all today. I know that we've been bringing y'all the motivational podcast every Monday, but we're going to switch it up. We're going to do a new segment called Toxic Tuesday. But before we get into Toxic Tuesday, Miss Tiffany, girl, how you been doing so far today? How's your day look like?
I've been doing great. I've been doing amazing. Working on my projects, planting my seeds to, building to be able to help humanity,
Yeah.
getting into the community. And I recently just volunteered for the crisis text line. So I'm going to be on the crisis text line, being able to help people get through situations when they're in a crisis. And I also started a crisis relief fund on Facebook, which I will advertise on my Facebook page. My Facebook is Angel7. It's 7 with 2 N's. And it's for families and teens that are going through things that impact their welfare. So I have a goal of raising $7,000 to be able to help families and teens to temporary house them for 3 to 6 months and take care of all their living expenses to be able to elevate their stability and take them out of that darkness and bring them back into the love and light of hope. So that's what I've been working on.
Yeah, there we go. You see, I put the little clapping emojis for those of y'all who are watching the YouTube version. You saw I gave her a little hand clap because it seems like she's got a lot going on with that. And I'm telling you, she's always get into stuff, which is great. Always find ways to make impact in her community, which is why I love Miss Tiffany. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, my goal is to be able to try to work with Miss Tiffany on this. Hopefully, we can get a chance to meet up and be able to do some of this together because I really love the direction that she's going with her line of work. So I'm gonna try to be a active participant in that as well, trying to also do stuff in my community as well to help out and also team up with Miss Tiffany, do some great things. So that's where my mind is. That's where my goal is. So like I said, hopefully this me and Tiffany get a chance to meet in person, um, and be able to do some great stuff together. I know she's excited about that. You can tell she's smiling real big, so she loved that. So we're gonna try to make that happen. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am. But I know last time, uh, I think the last time we talked, I know that I mentioned I was gonna try some yoga. Let me tell you something. That was some of the best. That was probably the best experience I've ever had in my life. Like literally, I'm telling y'all need to get on this yoga stuff, bro. Like literally, there's a studio that I found literally like 5 minutes down the street, and I went because this is like my first time actually doing yoga in a studio. Like I've done like yoga like in terms of like doing it on the video, like P90X yoga thing, but it's not the same as going to a studio. And literally, I took like a beginner class, just like showing me the basics and everything like that. There's maybe like 3 other people in there. Very relaxing. The yoga instructor did a phenomenal job. Play some really relaxing music, and I'm telling y'all, bro, y'all need to get on that because literally it helps you physically and mentally. Physically, because your body just feels so rejuvenated afterward. Like if you like are feeling tight or whatnot, you know what I'm saying? Like maybe you need to work on your flexibility. Yoga can do that for you because when I left that, I never felt as I've just felt so much better afterward. My body felt so much better after doing it, and also I just felt more relaxed. You know what I'm saying? Because yoga is a lot of meditation. It's a lot of just be still. Take deep breaths. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it's just great meditation, man. So it was a great experience. I'm definitely going to check
Yay.
it out again. I'm definitely going to go again. Hopefully next weekend. Sign up for another session because man, that was so man, it was just so impactful. So if you guys have not tried yoga, I'm telling y'all, try it, bro. Especially if you are very active, if you like me, like to work out all the time, like to lift weights. I'm telling you, you need to incorporate yoga in your routine because that was the bomb. You know what I'm saying? So it was a great session. It was a great session. So I thought I'd share that with y'all because I know I mentioned I was going to do it. So there's my feedback. Get into yoga. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Take care of your physical and mental health. You know what I'm saying? Take care of both of them things, bro. You know what I mean?
very much true. Yes.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. And I know this weekend I'm about to head up, or actually tomorrow I'm about to head up to Cleveland, see my dudes who I haven't seen in a while. It's been like 2 months since I've seen them, so I'm gonna head up to Cleveland, enjoy some spending time with my dudes, Dev and David. So I will be up there, and I will see what's going on. But anyway, that's enough of me because I want to get into the segment now. Here's how this is gonna go. This is how it's gonna go down. So usually, I'm the one that usually kind of starts the conversation, and then Miss Tiffany, jumps in with her 2 cents. But we're gonna switch it up today. We're gonna switch it up for this segment since this was Miss Tiffany's idea to do Toxic Tuesdays. Miss Tiffany is gonna be the one to lead the conversation. She's gonna do. She's gonna have like a very inspirational story that I feel like she should share with y'all, man, because it's deep. When we talk about Toxic Tuesdays, so the point of Toxic Tuesdays is to be able to help y'all, you know, get rid of those toxins in your life. You know what I'm saying? Whatever toxic relationship or whatever toxic thing is like impacting like your life and your mindset, we want to try to help, get rid of that, or else like try to eliminate that. You know what I'm saying? Because we don't have time for that. You don't got time to be dealing with toxic relationships or just anything like that. Anything that's toxic in your life, you need to get rid of that. So that's where Miss Tiffany is going to come in, and Miss Tiffany is going to take the lead on this conversation. So I'm excited for what she has in store for y'all, man. I'm telling y'all, this is going to be a great session, bro. So Miss Tiffany, I'm gonna start
Yes.
talking, and I'm gonna give you the floor.
Okay, guys, the topic of the day is self-respect, honing in on mistreatment. I want to talk about self-respect today on Toxic Tuesdays because self-respect goes a long way. It could happen in a relationship, family relationships, a workplace. It could be anything. But the main thing that it has to do with is your emotional health. And a lot of us been mistreated in a lot of situations, been disrespected, abused, rejected, all those sorts of things. And no matter what or how good you think somebody looks or how their life looks, everybody has faced some type of trauma. Even me, people look at me and think that, I might have had life easy. Like, oh, you're attractive, you're this, you're that. I've been bullied. I had an awkward phase. I was not the it girl in high school. I had a rolling book bag. I got teased. I was a bookworm. I didn't have many friends. I ate my lunch in the guidance office in high school. I didn't have a big group of friends. I didn't go to parties, and I didn't drink a lot and have all the boys lusting after me. That never happened for me. And throughout my life, I faced a lot of abuse, mainly from men and women judging me and feeling like I was on a quote unquote high horse, but really I was deeply hurt inside by a lot of people, and a lot of my light got dimmed in 2011. 2011, I got married to my high school sweetheart, whom I met in 2004. And 2011, I was very young. I was 21 years old. I felt like it was the right thing to do. He was my soulmate, the love of my life. He joined the military, and I got offered a modeling contract in California that I then turned down to be with him and support, his career and going to the army. And I did join the army with him, but I didn't stay in. It wasn't my destiny. I got out, and he came up with the notion, oh, you should be a housewife, because I'm a very loving, hopeless romantic. I love making people happy and, catering to others' needs and emotions. And he took advantage of that. And at that time, I didn't know. And when we got married, I thought that, I was his wife. But then I realized that I wasn't. I was his property. He felt like he owned me. I was no longer someone that was admired. I was somebody that was owned. And he told me I had to dress like a wife, talk like a wife, act like a wife. And I'm like, where's the wife section in the store? I see maternity, I see petite, I see juniors, I see misses, but I don't see a wife section in the store. So what does a wife dress like? Basically, a wife does not wear shorts in the summertime. Wives do not wear makeup. Wives do not take care of themselves. In his eyes, wives don't have friends. And when I realized that, I didn't understand, I felt like I actually, in a way, maybe he was right. And he told me I didn't need friends. I always called him my best friend. So why would I need friends? That's what he said. Friends are just going to bring us down. They're going to encourage you and influence you to do things you shouldn't be doing. They're not married. They don't understand your life. So while, serving him and doing everything that he wanted, I was being controlled and wasn't even aware. He told me that I was unattractive when I got dressed up. He said I looked like I'm attracting men to want to have sex with me. He's like, you're soliciting sex by dressing like that. You're disrespecting me. And every time I went to the grocery store, he counted the minutes that it took for me to get there and get back. And if I went over that, I was sleeping with another man. And it came to a point to where I was no longer just a B word or a whore or, a liar or a sneaky person. He then started to hit me. He had to choke me, headbutt me, do things to put fear in me. He would punch holes in the wall by my head to scare me. And it worked. And it got to the point to where he felt that he was so empowered that when he got upset with me, he would throw me out of the house, no matter what I had on. I could have on my bra and panties and he would throw me out. And after the third time, I realized that he was not going to stop. So when I went to the grocery store after that third time, I got keys made for the house, for the car, the mailbox, and I bought clothes. And I stored the clothes, the toiletries, all of the stuff that I needed in the trunk where the spare tire was and hid it from him. So on the fourth time, when he threw me out, I got in that car. I found that spare key to the house, the car, and I got in the car. And our car was parked next to his bedroom window because every time he would throw me out, he would lock the door and just go to sleep. So when he did that, I got in the car, and when he heard me, he heard the car start up. He went running outside and he was chasing the car down, trying to get to open the door, and I sped off. And after I sped off, he sent me a text message that says, "You're a smart bitch, LOL." And that was it. And when I got back, he acted like nothing ever happened. He was looking for breakfast, lunch, dinner, and any sexual pleasures that he wanted from me. And he never threw me out again. But that didn't stop his control. He then started throwing things, destroying the house, tormenting me, cornering me in walls. I would go in the room to pray. I would lock myself in the room and I would pray. I prayed through all of this. And that didn't stop him either. He would break the door down. And as I'm praying, he would whisper in my ear and say, "What God? There is no God. Tell God to pay your bills. Tell God to put food on the table. Tell God to come here right now. Tell him to stop me from doing what I'm doing. He can't do that, right? Who are you praying to? Nobody." And tell me to shut up. And when I would try to call my mother, he'd smack the phone out of my hand and break my phone. I felt trapped. They felt like no way out for me. And I actually started to believe the things he said, that I was worthless. No one would want me. It's like, you don't have a job. Where are you gonna go? You don't have anything. There's no one here. And I knew I had to do something. And I went and got a job. I got a simple job. And I met friends at work. But that money wasn't enough to get away. I was all the way in Texas. And I'm from Virginia. So how was I gonna get there? You know, what am I gonna tell my family? I fought so hard for this relationship. He was my first everything. Person I thought was my soulmate. What do I do now? So I stopped talking back. I stopped trying to defend myself about not sleeping with other men and, you know, verifying where I've been. When I would go out with friends, I had to take pictures of my surroundings to prove where I was. And my friends are looking at me like, what are you doing? I have to prove where I am so he knows that I'm here. And if I stayed too long, oh, he would come get me. He would come drag me out by my hair, by my clothes, and he felt no shame. He didn't care. If we were in the grocery store, we're at Walmart, and a guy was looking at me, he would literally say, what you looking at? This is my woman. This is my bitch. Who you looking at? You know, back up. This is mine. I own her. We got kicked out of 2 Walmarts. And I was too ashamed to even go back there. He didn't care. He said he owned me. I was his. So I gave up. I stopped fighting. I stopped trying to rebel against the things that he said. So what I did was I played perfect wife the whole day till he went to sleep. And then I would sneak out, go out with the friends that I met and drink. I developed a drinking habit. I would drink tequila. I would get drunk and I would go party, which created me to have that codependency. I only felt like myself and felt like a little part of me came back when I was away from him and I was drinking. I felt free. I didn't care what repercussions I faced when I got home. I went through stuff 12 hours out the day. What does it matter? It was never going to end anyway. And every day I prayed. I prayed for a way out, even though I didn't see one. And then he got deployed. That was my way out. That was my way out. And I told myself, I have a whole year to save money and plan. I filed for separation. I got separation pay. I saved that money. And I lived very humbly to have money to move. And did I move? Oh, you bet I did. I sure did. When he got back from deployment, I was not there. I moved to Georgia. With everything that I had, I packed up the car and I moved. And I didn't just take the stuff I had. I took emotional baggage. I took the trauma. I took the abuse. Did I stop drinking? No, I didn't, because I never healed from that. And I went to follow my career. I went back to modeling. I went back to acting. And I didn't enjoy it like I used to, because that light in me was missing. It wasn't there. I didn't have happiness because I did not have love for myself. I lost my self-worth because I didn't understand how someone that I gave so much love to, who said they loved me, who I spent so many years with, how could they think of me like that? How could they treat me like that? And did the abuse stop that I moved to Georgia? No. He then called me, emailed me, even came to Georgia to find me. But he didn't know that I had family in Georgia. I never told him that. And he didn't find me. But I didn't find me either. I had to go through so much more abuse because I had the victim mentality. I kept getting the same guy with different faces. I got abused by every last guy after that until I got tired. I finally got divorced in 2015. And in January 2015 and February 6th of 2015, I went and got help for drinking. I quit drinking liquor. That was the end of that. But was I better? No, because I never solved the problem. I got rid of the codependency, but I didn't solve the problem. And I still was finding myself not so much in problematic relationships because I was so fearful of them at this point. But I found myself in situations, choices that I made with the victim mentality. And I went and started drinking wine because I didn't get that drunk off wine, but it still gave me that sense of control, sense of happiness. And so I started my spiritual journey in 2016. I needed love. I wanted love. So then I had my son. And I chose to have a son without a father on purpose because I was that fearful of having a man control me, abuse me, or take something away from me. And when I looked at my son's eyes, that was the love. That was the love. And I did not want him to see me as a victim. So I chose to heal myself. And that's when I never let wine, alcohol, anything dictate my happiness. I found happiness within myself. And from that moment on, I worked on healing myself. And the first thing I did was getting rid of, my codependency on drinking and partying. And then it was the validation. Man, I used to call people, I'm feeling like this. Is that right? This person did this. Am I crazy for thinking this? Am I crazy for this? I didn't even understand my own emotions. I thought that I was irrational. I thought the way that I felt didn't make sense or didn't matter. And I had to get over that. I went through countless amounts of therapy. I've been in therapy ever since I met that man. And it wasn't the therapy. It was God that got me through it. I prayed every day for answers, even though I didn't know how I was receiving them, how it was coming. And I couldn't figure out, how do I heal from this? And I forgave all the little, relationships I had that I was abused, but that big one that really sunk where my heart was my ex-husband, because that's who I was in love with. I did not solve that until last year. And last year I discovered self-love and self-worth. And I got a message from God. And he told me, you were not rejected. I hid your value from those you were not destined for. And when I got that message from God, that just answered all of the questions I had, all the clarity, because I kept saying, why me? Why me? I can't find nothing that's that bad about me. What did I do to him? And when I met those other men that treated me wrong, for a part of me wanted to fix them, because if I could have fixed at least one of them, maybe I could have fixed him. Maybe I can go back and fix him. Maybe I can figure out where the glitch happened. And then I realized that your heart, it has to break in order for it to be open, to receive and to give love and reach vulnerability. Some people do not reach vulnerability because their heart hasn't broken. And it may sound crazy, but it's the truth. I got my heart broken over and over and over again, but all the pieces hadn't crumbled. And then when the pieces finally crumbled and I surrendered, I said, I give up. I surrender. I can't feel anymore. Now it's just pouring out of me. Everything that I went through just started pouring out of me. And I realized that your heart has to break in order for it to open. And when your heart is open, now you're able to be vulnerable. And rejection is God's protection. Don't take rejection as something's wrong with you, that you're broken. Embrace your broken heart. The more you embrace your broken heart, the more you can open it up. And when your heart is open and unbroken to all those pieces, now you fill it. You fill it with self-love. Now you can give yourself compassion, empathy, understanding, and love. Because when your heart finally breaks into all those pieces and it's open, you're so vulnerable and you are so defenseless emotionally that you have no choice but to be compassionate for yourself, to have empathy for yourself, to forgive yourself. I didn't deserve this. It really wasn't me. It It wasn't me. And openness equals vulnerability. Fear equals weakness. Most people think being vulnerable is a weakness. It's not. Fear is a weakness. Openness, being open with somebody, is vulnerability. You want somebody to be open and honest. That's being vulnerable, right? So understanding equals compassion. You can't understand something if you're not giving it compassion. So when you give yourself compassion, you are understanding what you went through. And love equals purity. When you have love, that's something that's pure. People most think purity means without sin, but that is not true. Purity is love. Love comes from your heart and soul, and God is love, and God is pure. That's what gets you there. That's what gets you there. Being vulnerable is the first step to being able to give and receive love. Everybody says they want to be loved. Some people can give love and can't receive it. And some people can receive love and can't give it, and they seem selfish. But emotional trauma leads to codependency, whether it is drinking, whether it is drugs, whether it is food, whether it is just relying on somebody to take care of you. You're feeling a void. And emotional trauma also leads to PTSD and trauma bonds. I used to think every guy that was similar to him, even looked like any guy that abused me, is going to do it. That man didn't, the way he looked, he didn't choose the way he looked. But I don't even want to deal with him because he looks similar to this other guy. He could be the same race. I became judgmental because of my trauma. And I realized that it was something wrong with me. I got so bad to where not only did I could not receive love, but I couldn't receive compliments. I thought people wanted something from me. What do you want from me? Because I didn't believe it myself. To restore your self-worth, you must allow yourself to feel heartbroken and forgive yourself and others and give yourself compassion. And empathy for yourself is only reached through vulnerability. And when your heart is open and receptive to giving and receiving love, now you have reached self-love. Because you can't love others or receive love if you don't love yourself. And I want to emphasize this for people that are going through anything traumatic and have went through the abuse I went through. I went through abuse in many, many, many relationships, whether it was manipulation, sexual abuse, emotional abuse, mental abuse, and physical abuse. Hurt people hurt people. Let me say that again. Hurt people hurt people. So in return, don't punish yourself for what others do. They are suffering in silence. That's why they project onto you. And not loving yourself is a slow death within itself. Your body may still move, but you're dead inside. So it's a thin line between love and death of yourself. I'm going to pass it to Chris.
Man, I mean, I don't even know where to start, man. Like, man, that just hit deep with me, man. Like, just going back to just your story about how you went through all that. Like, that song, I found out for the first time. Like, I know me and Miss Tiffany, we talk, often, but I would have never known that. You know what I'm saying? Like, just the way every time I talk to her, she always has that smile. She always has that great energy, man. And, just hearing that for the first time, it just amazes me how strong she has, come. She is. You know what I'm saying? Because you look at somebody, Miss Tiffany, you would have never thought that, somebody like her went through all that. You know what I'm saying? And it just hit me deep, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I think when she was talking about some of the details that her husband, how her husband treated her and stuff like that, almost got me tearing up. Now, I don't really be crying like that, but I came pretty close because I was like, man, how could somebody like her go through something like that? And that just goes to show you, man, that, some of y'all might be in that situation right now. Miss Tiffany might have, struck a nerve with some of y'all, man, who might be in that similar situation where you're in an abusive relationship and you don't know how to get out. When you might be with somebody who may think less of you, man. But I just want to just emphasize this. Now, I can't really speak on being in an abusive relationship, you know what I'm saying? Because I've never experienced nothing like that. But that's why Miss Tiffany is able to, be able to speak to some of y'all who might be in that similar situation. You might be with somebody who is taking advantage of you, who's treating you like property, like Miss Tiffany said, how she described how her husband was treating her, you know what I'm saying? But, one thing I want to just tell y'all, man, if you in that situation, bro, or you dealing with that, just know, don't believe what that other person might think of you, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't let nobody's opinion of you make you believe that you are less than what God has created you. I'm gonna say that again. Don't
Yes.
let nobody's negative opinion of you make you believe that you are less than what God created you.
Amen.
Okay? Because God put you, because let me just emphasize this. God makes no mistakes. God puts people here for a reason. Everybody that you see, everything that you see is for a reason. So don't ever let nobody take that away from you. Don't let nobody take that gift or that joy that God has placed in you. Don't let nobody take that purpose away from you, that drive away from you. You know what I'm saying? Just know if somebody wants to be able to come at you like that, just know that God has a plan for you. God has a purpose for you. And sometimes he may take you through some stuff that may feel uncomfortable or may be tragic, just like Miss Tiffany. Miss Tiffany, I feel like she gets a lot of her, a lot of that strength, a lot of that courage, and a lot of that, power from that trauma experience that she faced. Because one thing that I found out about a lot of people who do motivational, inspirational speeches and everything like that, they've been through something, which is why they're so passionate when they speak. That's why I realize now I know why Miss Tiffany has so much energy, so much passion, so much inspiration for being able to, spread positivity because she's went through something that was trauma in her life. She went through a traumatic experience that made her the way she is today, that allowed her to be able to make her situation and turn it into a better one. So like I said, bro, don't think of yourself as less than you. Maybe you might be in this, in that situation, but make something, make something great toward it. You know what I'm saying? Try to produce something that can change the world. And I feel like Miss Tiffany, with this story, is going to impact a lot of people. I feel like her story can be a lesson to somebody out there who may be dealing with that same trauma. You know what I'm saying? See, God can use your pain and turn it into purpose.
There you go.
So that's that's really my 2 cents right there, man, because I know that was a lot. I know that, Miss Tiffany pretty much, hey, she pretty much took that courage to open up about that, because it takes a lot of courage to open up about something like that. Because a lot of people who go through that, they still have they're scared to admit what happened. But I want to say, don't be scared to tell your story, because if you stay scared all your life, that person or whoever that abuser is in your life has won. He's literally defeated you mentally. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to have that happen. You want to be able to stand up and fight like Miss Tiffany did. She stood up and fight and kept fighting, trying to get away from this dude, trying to get her life together, man. And now she's in a better place now. Now I see her, she's away from this dude. Hopefully this dude ain't nowhere near her. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully he ain't planning on coming back soon. Seems like she's doing well. She's got all this stuff going on, all this stuff she's trying to do to make an impact. So it just shows how strong Miss Tiffany is. It shows how strong, um, you know, this situation has made her. And so I challenge y'all, man, whatever you might be facing, whatever challenge you might be facing, you got to stand up and fight it. Don't back down. See, Miss Tiffany would have, back down. Who knows? God knows what would happen.
Right.
She probably still be in that relationship today. She probably still be getting beat down today. But she decided to stand up and fight. And that's what you got to do. If you want to face a challenge, you got to stand up and fight. You gotta, you gotta, stand up for yourself. And that's part of, learning to love yourself, not taking that negative abuse, not taking, that negativity from somebody else. You gotta, love yourself enough to where you say enough is enough.
Right.
Stop trying to find security in something that's not there. Go find your own. But yeah, that was so powerful, man.
Yes, I want
Powerful. You don't know how many lives you could have impacted just there. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate you sharing that though.
thank you.
That took a lot of courage, but I applaud you. That just shows you how strong you are. And you can, be that example for other women who might be dealing with that, man. So I appreciate you doing that.
Yes, I hope to inspire, women to speak their truth. I'm all about speaking your truth that gets you closer to yourself and your authentic self. And most people think that the storms that you face is all about wins and losses, but it's not. It's not about winning or losing, because you gain so much from your storm. You gain strength, you gain understanding, you gain resiliency, you gain self-worth and clarity. When you gain that understanding, like I said, understanding equals compassion for yourself. Everything, it starts with you. I thought I had a drinking problem. I didn't have a drinking problem. I had a problem emotionally. The drinking wasn't the actual problem. It was my emotional state. So whatever you're dependent upon masking your hurt, that's not the problem. You have to go to the root of the core, what's in your heart. Drinking is not in your heart, it's in your mind. It's in your physical body. It's not in your heart. Your heart doesn't desire it. Your mind does. Your physical body does. That's not coming from a place of purity. Love is purity. And when you love something and it defies your heart, that's where you need to go to. And you find the root of that, because we're all beautiful souls. You're a beautiful soul. God created you beautifully. You're created in the image of him. He went through the worst scrutiny that anybody could possibly go through. And when you think about what Jesus went through, you will look at your situation a lot different. I don't have any broken bones. I didn't have anything. So it seems very, very small, and God makes us strong enough spiritually. Don't worry about your physical body and what happened to your physical body. Your spirit lives on forever. That's why we have the power of rebirth. And I've been reborn. That person I was then, I am not that person. I am not that person that was confused and lost. You can grow from your situation. Tragedies that we face are meant for us to learn from and grow from. We are meant to find our path. And when you go through the storm, that leads you to your purpose. You can't find your purpose, like Chris said, you find your purpose through your pain. And I love that statement. I love that. We need to make a t-shirt. You find your purpose through your pain. And like Kevin Hart says, laugh at my pain. You got to realize pain is temporary. You could think about when you got your teeth pulled out, you broke your leg, you hurt yourself. Does it still hurt? No, it don't. It goes away. So remember, there's always sunshine after the storm. Life is always about change. That's inevitable. So what you're going through now will soon end. And what you went through that you keep reliving is your choice. You need to backtrack, go back, and break your heart into pieces so it can open up and be able to love yourself, give yourself compassion, give yourself empathy. Don't look for it from others. I looked for validation through a lot of other places, and all it did was let me down, because it wasn't what I was seeking. What you're seeking is within yourself. So seek yourself. And everybody is on a different path. Just because that person hurt you and they don't see that they hurt you, that's their path of understanding. Life is a journey, not a race. You can't pick that person's pace. You're in your own space right now. And when people need time to heal, when you go to the doctors and you get surgery, you're not in a room with 10 other people. You're healing by yourself. Okay? When you go home and you in your room and you on bed rest, you're not on bed rest with 5 other people in there. You don't need people to help you rest. You don't need people to help you heal. You heal by yourself. And if you need time to heal, you make yourself a priority and you take space as if you had surgery. You're doing surgery on your heart and your soul. That's what you're doing. And so you say, I'm in surgery on my heart and soul. And you have to take all the bullets out, all the stab wounds, all of that stuff out your heart and soul, and you replenish it. And you replenish it with compassion, empathy, and understanding and forgiveness of yourself, the situation, and others involved. And then you step back out into the world. But when you keep going and keep going, you're filling that void. That's how you get codependency, PTSD, bipolar, anxiety, all those things that people want to give you pills for that never actually solve the problem. They just distract your mind from what you're actually feeling, which people say, hey, I don't even want to take pills. I'd rather drink, do drugs, party, have random sex, eat food, project it on other people, be a bully. We do a lot of different things to deflect our own pain. Don't do that. Feel the pain. Let your heart break into pieces, because when it breaks into pieces, you can fill it with love. It can come back whole. You will be whole again. Don't think that it's over. It's never over unless you give up. Like I said, thin line between love and death, and you don't want death of the soul. Death of the soul is without love.
Man, that was deep right there. And I think Miss Tiffany pretty much said everything I needed to be said for real. But I'll go ahead and just kind of just put everything together, because I really think Miss Tiffany did a great job of emphasizing to y'all how important it is to love yourself and to be able to do what's best for you. I think that's the whole theme of this, of this first episode of Toxic Tuesday. We talked about, we were going to talk about having self-respect. I think that Tiffany's whole story about what she went through and how she was able to overcome that, she decided to learn to love herself enough to be able to get out of that relationship, to be able to find something better for her life. So what I encourage y'all to do, man, as I wrap up my points, now Miss Tiffany might have some more to say, but I know for me, Miss Tiffany pretty much, like I said, summed everything up. But I would, say my last 2 cents, and I'll say this, man. Whatever pain, whatever trauma you might be dealing with, the only way the only way it can get better, the only way it can be over is if you fight through it. Is if you deal with it. Stop trying to escape it, bro. Because with you escaping it, with drugs, alcohol, partying, all this other stuff, overeating, all this other negative stuff, is not going to go away. All you're doing is literally putting it under the rug. But what's going to happen is it's going to come back out from under the rug, and it's going to still be there. The only way you get rid of a problem is if you kill it. You got to kill it, bro. You know what I'm saying? So if there's a person or somebody that's in your life that is literally weighing you down and is literally allowing you to act a different way that you normally would, you got to eliminate them. I don't care if you've known them for all your life. I don't care if they're a family member, a close friend of yours, a neighbor. I don't care who it is. If that person is literally changing who you are in a negative way, it is not providing any self-growth for your development, and is allowing you to make yourself feel guilty about who you are, you got to cut them off. You got to eliminate them. Stop trying to have them hang around. Stop trying to make excuses as to why they need to be in your life. If they're not adding value to your life, get rid of it. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, you got to get rid of that problem. You know what I'm saying? And it may be hard, and it may be hard for you to do that because you've had a deep connection from them. The only way that problem is going to be solved is if you go through it, is if you get rid of it. So in order for you to really love yourself, you have to be able to do what's best for you. Don't think about the other person. Don't think about all that other person. That person is not gonna like me. So what? That person never liked you. So why are you trying to spend your time trying to please that other person if they was never about pleasing you in the first place? That's what I would say for those of you who might be in a relationship, maybe not as extreme as Miss Tiffany, but maybe just like, just a toxic relationship. Y'all arguing back and forth, y'all can never get along, stuff like that. And you just every day you hang around them, you just drain, you just tired. You know what I'm saying? Get rid of that.
Right.
You got to think of, can I see myself with this person? Can I have like 5 more years of this? Can I have 10 more years of this depression, of me not feeling my true self? That's what you got to think about, man. Because I know the overall thing has just been able, as like Miss Tiffany with her relationship. I think the whole thing is more about how to handle yourself in relationships. Getting rid of those toxic relationships.
Right.
So if you can do that, man, you can eliminate that. You can live a more purposeful life without that person. And you gotta surround yourself with people who's gonna add value to who you are, who's gonna embrace who you are. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to, try so hard. If you gotta try hard to impress that person, that's not a good sign. That's not a good relationship right there. If you having to put all this effort in for that person to like you, you don't need to be in that relationship. You need to get out of that.
Right.
You need to find somebody who's going to embrace you for who you are and not degrade you and look at you as less than you. Don't be in that. Get out of that relationship so you can live and enjoy your life and be who God called you to be in this world.
Amen. And I also wanted to say one more thing for people that are unsure if they're in a toxic relationship or a situation. It could be a living situation, a job, a partnership, relationship, whatever, even a family relationship. The number one key to know, does it make you question yourself, your value? If it gives you that question, am I doing the right thing? Am I in the right place? You second guess yourself. It's because the main thing that toxic relationship situations do is make you second guess yourself. And that's like the first seed of insecurity and fear. Okay, self-doubt is a breeding ground for fear and insecurity. So the more you are in a toxic situation, the more self-doubt you'll have, and the more fear you will have, and the less trust you'll have in others because you don't trust yourself. And when you don't trust yourself, you can't trust anything else, because your intuition is that gut feeling that guides you. So if you can no longer trust that gut feeling that guides you, which is God sending you messages of through your heart and soul of what's for you and what's not for you, and you ignore those things, you don't have anything. You are in fear because you're avoiding and ignoring your protection. Praying to God and using my intuition is what got me through all the abusive situations and misfortunes I faced. I may have not known who, what, when, how I was going to get out of there, but I kept faith that there was something better for me. And when like I said, God rejects people. No, you are rejected because God protects you from those people. He hides your value from those people because they're not meant for you. So when you and then follow his path and say, this person is not for me, he will send you people that are destined for you when you get on your path to your purpose. Like when I met Chris, I would have never met Chris 2-3 years ago. You know, I wasn't on the path. Wasn't on the path to my purpose. I was still trying to heal. I was still trying to find self-love. Soon as I healed and found my self-love and walked in my purpose completely in my everyday life, not just sometimes, don't get me wrong. I still was spreading love and light, but I was hurting myself. That's not being in your purpose. You know, that's not being your authentic self. I was still burdened by situations I was facing and wondering how I'm going to get out of them so I can have peace and bliss on a daily basis, not just some days. So you got to think about that. And you got to think about what I'm walking away from, I'm going to receive better. God has better in store for me. And long as you pray, he hears you. Whether you believe or not believe because you can't see, believe in yourself, because that's where God is anyways. You're made in the image of God. He's in yourself. Believe in yourself and you'll find your way. And those that are meant to be with you will find you. You don't have to go looking for them. People say, oh, I can't go find no man sitting in my house. I ain't gonna find that job sitting in my house. You listen to that intuition. He tell you go to the gas station. Man might be at the gas station. Job opportunity might be at Walmart. You don't know. Not saying you're gonna work at Walmart, but you could run into somebody that has an opportunity for you. But your mind and your heart has to be open and receptive to receive. If you're not open and receptive to receive, you will not receive that blessing. Keep an open heart and an open mind and listen to those gut feelings.
Yes, ma'am. I love that. And we'll go ahead and wrap it up right here. We'll go ahead and wrap it up on what Miss Tiffany said. Now, I want to propose an idea because I really liked how this first episode went. And I really loved how it was authentic. It was real. Like it was just raw emotion right there. You know what I'm saying? And I know there's Miss Tiffany. I know Miss Tiffany's in charge of this segment, but I want to kind of propose an idea. I really liked how you opened up about your situation. And I would love it if maybe we could do this where other people who might be dealing with toxic situations, they can let us know. They can write. They can, send us a message. If they're that comfortable, they can come on this segment and be able to share what they've been through, and we can
That'd be awesome.
help y'all out, man. We can just give y'all some advice on how to deal with that, man. So I really want to try to make this interactive because I really like the direction that it went. I really like, hearing stories about stuff that people go through and how it can help them. So I feel like we can make this an interactive session if we want to. Like I said, like if you want to share something that might be going on in your life that you need help with, let us know. Hit us up in the DMs, you know what I'm saying? Message us on Instagram. Or, you can, come on the show if you feel comfortable and brave enough to share what's been going on. Feel free to come on, man. We love to have you. And, we'll just make this like an interactive session where we can just try to see what type of advice we can give you to help you get through whatever it is you might be dealing with. You know what I'm saying? I literally just came up with that a few seconds ago. You know what I'm saying?
I love that idea.
So,
I love it. And, I'm all for people speaking up and speaking out, because even if you want to, don't even want advice, you just want to tell your story on here and have support. Just to tell your story will release that from you, release that burden from you of keeping it, held in. And like he said, like write us, DM us. My email is coachingyoutohappiness, is coaching and then the letter U, the number 2, happiness@gmail.com. And we can discuss it. You can write anonymously. And if you want to be a guest, DM us. That would be awesome to speak up and speak out on whatever situation. It could be a situation you left and you want to tell your story, or it could be a situation that you're in and you want help on getting out. Chris had an amazing idea. And I feel like right now, a lot of people are dealing with a lot of toxic situations in our lives because a lot of things are changing around us. So definitely hit us up. Our podcast is all about disinfecting your life, and we got to get rid of the toxins too. We can't just spray the roaches. We got to get rid of the toxins too. Spray them up, get rid of them, get on out of here, and a way to release is through speaking, writing and speaking. Once you feel it, speak it, write it. Those are ways to release it from out of you. I love that idea. I'm all for it.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. So like Tiffany said, like she gave you her Instagram and her email and everything like that. So yeah, we can definitely try to, just have you on to just express your story, man. Just tell it and just tell, give people a sense of what you've been going through, bro. You know what I'm saying? Because the best way, like, to release that is by just letting it out. And that's what I've learned to do is like when I go through, difficult situations, I want to talk to someone about it, get their perspective. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, like Tiffany said, I mean, you can hit her up. She gave you her uh, Instagram and email, and then you can also uh, hit me up on the Disinfecting Your Life page on Instagram. That's at Disinfecting Your Life. No spaces, no capitals. Once again, that is at Disinfecting Your Life. No spaces, no capitals. So you can hit me up in the DMs or whatever. And we can work something out. You know what I'm saying? Like if you wanna, like I said, remain like Tiffany said, remain anonymous, do that. You know what I'm saying? We can just feature your story on your show, on this show, and be able to, try to help you out or whatnot. So yeah, so I really like this segment. I really like the direction it went. So we're gonna keep doing this. So we're gonna post episodes every Tuesday. Episodes will come out every Tuesday at 5 p.m. Eastern time. I switched up the time because I know our motivational Monday podcast come out at 12. So I decided to make this in the evening. Okay. And then we also got our What Would You Do Wednesdays starting at 11 p.m. Eastern. And that's going to be on the Disinfecting Your Life page. And it's going to be a live session with me and Tiffany. So you can interact with us even more. You know what I'm saying? Like if you like what we say, you can drop some emojis. You can drop the fire emoji. You can drop the hand clapping emoji, the raise your hand emoji, amen. You know what I'm saying? If you like what we're saying on there, or you can, hit us, say something in the comments. I think there's a comments section. So if you want to interact with us that way, we got you. You know what I'm saying? So that's what's taking place. But I'm telling you, bro, this podcast has came a long way, bro. I'm really excited about the direction. This is why I love Miss Tiffany. I'm gonna keep saying. I say at the end of every show, this is why I love Miss Tiffany, because some of these ideas wouldn't have happened if it wasn't for Miss Tiffany. So
Oh,
it's man, I'm telling you, bro.
I'm glad to be here. I'm glad we met.
Absolutely. It's such an honor and it's such a blessing. But anyway, that's all we got for y'all today. This your boy Chris Simmons, alongside co-host Miss Tiffany Wright. We'll see y'all when we see y'all. Take care, y'all. Peace.
Bye.